up? So today I have a review for you. This is a chess game I played at 86% accuracy, and I play akin to a 2200. This is a shorter game, honestly, and it's a blitz one. Let's get into it. Oh, and I'm 2020 blitz right now. I play d4, they play knight f6, and then I go bishop to f4. After bishop f4, I go pawn to e6, pawn to e3, and then pawn goes to d5. After d5, I move my pawn to h3. This is a normal London system, and I move h3 just to avoid, well, I'm going to go knight to f3 eventually, and I want to avoid knight to h5, so I have an escape square on h2. They go bishop to d6, and after that, I take. The reason you take, I think I've explained before, but if you're new to my videos, you have to take at this point because you can't drop back to g3. If this pawn here on h3 that was on h2 is still on h2 and they do that, you can just drop back, but you do not want them to take back with the f pawn, so you trade the bishops. Taking back with the queen, and then I go pawn to c3, blocking queen to b4, which is a fork, I guess you would call it, attacking the king and attacking my weak pawn on b2 as well. They move their pawn to c5, and I move knight to f3, knight to c6, and then bishop to d3. This is not the best move. The best move is bishop e2. That makes sense. I do bishop d3 just because that's like the ideal London setup, but honestly, at this point, it's still a London, but the dark square bishop's gone, so it's not the exact same setup. Obviously, that's why it's not the best move anymore. After knight to e4, I move my knight to d2, looking to win a pawn, but they go f5. A pretty good move, stopping me from winning a pawn, but I just castle, getting out the center with my king. They go pawn to d7, bishop to d7, then I go pawn to a3. Now, pawn to a3, I feel pretty confident about what I'm doing. Although it is an inaccuracy, I felt that going b4 is good because they seem like they want to castle queenside. They go g5, which is just a complete blunder. I take the knight, so I remove the defender, I guess you would call it. Then I take this loose pawn, and I'm just in time to protect it. So they go pawn to h5 first because I want to go queen to h5 check, but they want to stop that. So then I go pawn to f4, which is a mistake, but I'm still winning. I think I have the evo bar in this video, so you can see I'm still winning this game. The reason I go f4 though, my logic was to protect the knight because I wanted to go queen to h5 to protect it, but I think I could have just went h4, yeah. But I do go h4 anyways. They go c4, queen over to e1, looking to go to that h4 square, queen there, and then I go h4. We're both just missing back and forth. Should have went b3. Didn't even think about it, honestly. But at this point, I'm up a pawn, and their king side's pretty weak. And another important thing here is that the knight is on an outpost. Just because no piece can take it. There's no dark square bishop to knock it off a dark square. You're not going to sacrifice that rook for it, and the knight is not close to even getting in the way of it. They queenside castle, which I was really perplexed by, and then I go b3. I waited for it to be a great move and not the best move. After b3, they go knight to b5, and at this point, it's pretty much over. Take this pawn, take their knight trade, and I take this pawn, and bishop c6, and then knight here, back to my outpost, and they resign just because there's nothing they can do. They're down 2 pawns. There's literally no attack possible, which I think is pretty cool how I ended up the defense. I occupy the dark squares because there's no dark square bishop. I think 6 of my 7 pawns are in dark square, so nothing they can really do here, and they just resign, just due to no moves. But yeah, that's it for this video. Let me know what your guys' rating is in the comments, and thank you for watching and supporting my account. Have a great day, and see you in the next video.